Today we will continue IR spectroscopy. We have already done its principle, then its types of molecular vibrations, and then we will do IR regions, main IR regions, and in that regions which groups or which functional groups can be identified, can be known, so that the structure of organic compound can be determined, and then we will do instrumentation for the IR spectroscopy. So regions of IR spectrum, it is mainly divided into two regions, that is between 4000 to 1500 centimeter inverse, and then second region is below 1500. So between 4000 to 1500 centimeter inverse, vibration states of various types of bonds are present in this region. So this region has mainly vibration states of NH bond, then OH, then C double bond O carbonyl group, then C double bond C, then C double bond N, etc. So in this region, these type of bonds, these can be easily identified, or these bonds give spectrum in this range. And the aromatic nucleus, if present, it also gives in this region, that is between 2000 to 1670 centimeter inverse, and OH bond, NH bond are also encountered in this region. So we can say this is the representation in which we can now easily identify that OH CH bonds, then C triple bond C, C triple bond N, then C double bond C, C double bond O, C double bond N. These are all present in between 1600 to 4000, that is we can say 1500 to 4000, and these types of bonds give their peaks in this region. And the region, this particularly, this is a sharp band, and it is around 2200 to 2400 centimeter inverse, and it mainly represents the C triple bond C and C triple bond N. So these bonds are present in between 1500 to 4000 region. And the other region, that is fingerprint region, in this C single bond C, C single bond O, C single bond N, stretching and bending vibrations are present in this region. This region has so many vibrations, so many peaks, that is, it is characteristic of a particular molecule. And fingerprint region accounts for absorption band characteristics of functional group. And since number of sharp bands of varying intensity are present, and their close examination is needed, and there are many bending and stretching vibrations are present in this region. So we can say the IR spectra of two molecules, of two compounds, is not identical, and this can be easily seen in the fingerprint region. And the region below 1500 centimeter inverse shows absorption bands due to bending vibrations and stretching vibrations of CC, CO, CN bonds. And less than 1250 centimeter inverse, consists of complex vibrational and rotation spectra of the complete molecule. So this region is needed to be closely examined so that we can identify the compound of which spectrum it is. And so the fingerprint region is further divided into three regions. If it is between 1500 to 1350 centimeter inverse, then there are mainly double peaks at 1380 and 1365 centimeter inverse, which indicates the presence of tertiary butyl group in the compound. And the second region between 1350 to 1000 centimeter inverse has strong bands due to CO stretching, and CO stretching is present in ethers, which is indicated at this position, that is between 1150 to 1070 centimeter inverse. And then primary alcohols show at 1350 to 1260 centimeter inverse, and esters show 1380 to 1050 centimeter inverse, and phenols show near 1200 centimeter inverse. So this region is very important, and if we know the peaks and this region, then we can easily identify the type of molecular vibrations they may be involved in a molecule, or the type of bonds present in a molecule. And third region is the less than 1000 centimeter inverse, and it shows if 750 to 700 centimeter, it indicates presence of monosubstituted benzenes. And then geometrical isomers, that is cis and trans, can also be distinguished by this spectrum. And if it is 700 centimeters, then it is a cis isomer, that is in absorption band of strong intensity. And if it is trans isomer, then it will have spectrum at 970 to 960 centimeter inverse. So the fingerprint region, which is divided into three, is very important for the identification of molecules. And so in a nutshell, we can say the region between 4000 to 15 centimeter inverse is probably easier to interpret than the 1500 to 650 centimeter inverse, this region, that is fingerprint region, which corresponds to a particular molecule, and in which various CC stretching and CH bending modes are present. So whole region is characteristics of a specific molecule, and this region is called the fingerprint region. And then as the instrumentation in the IR spectroscopy. In IR spectroscopy, IR instruments, mainly we use double beam scanning IR instrument, which makes use of diffraction gratings in a monochromator to disperse the different wavelengths of light. And in this, the key components are light source, entrance slit, then grating, detector. And the radiation from the source is directed along both the sample and reference, and then into the diffraction grating, and the grating disperses the light into the specially separated wavelengths, which are selectively directed by a narrow slit towards the detector. Wavelengths are measured one at a time, with the slit controlling the bandwidth. The grating and the slit combination selects the wavelength being measured, and the detector produces a spectrum or a plot of transmittance against frequency. We can see the instrument as, so this is the instrumentation. In this is the glowing wire source, this is a source, and from this the radiations are they fall in this mirror, and then they are reflected by this, and they then pass through one beam through a sample cell and other from the reference cell, and then they meet in a chopper, and here the radiations then pass through monochromator and then through the detector, and then the detector, by detector then a chart is recorded, a spectrum is recorded. So Mainly the components of this IR spectrometer are radiation source, and then the monochromator, then detector, and main is sample. In this spectrometer, sample can be solid, liquid, or gas. The sample can be solid, or it can be liquid, or it can be gas. And in this, the radiation source is maybe nurse glower, maybe incandescent lamp, mercury arc, tungsten lamp, Glauber source, nichrome wire. So any of these radiation sources can be used in IR. And the monochromator which are used are alkali halides, prism gratings, filters. And detectors are generally bolometer, thermocouple, thermistor, Galois cell, photoelectric or photoconductor. So these are the list which can be used in these as a components. And mainly now radiation sources which are used in main is Nernst grower, and this is a cylinder of rare earth oxides, that is rod of mixtures of the oxides of zirconium, yttrium and erbium. And platinum wires are sealed to the ends and the current passed through the cylinder. The Nernst glower can reach temperature of 2200 Kelvin. And similarly we can also use Glauber source, and this is a silicon carbide rod which is electrically heated to about 1500 Kelvin, and water cooling of the electrical contact is needed to prevent arcing, and the spectral output is comparable with the Nernst glower, and except at short wavelengths where its output becomes larger. So these two sources can be used, or we can use incandescent wire source, which is a tightly wound coil of nichrome wire, and it electrically heated to 1100 Kelvin. It produces a lower intensity of radiation than the Nernst or Glauber sources, but has a longer working life. So different radiation sources can be used, and their temperatures at what they reaches and the life as discussed. And so next is infrared detectors. The different detectors, that is bolometer, thermocouple, Galois, then for pyroelectric, photoconductor, photovoltaic, photoelectric. These type of detectors can be used, and this what they exactly measures: resistance, thermocouple, thermoelectric effect, thermal expansion, capacitance, resistivity, reaction photons. And they are made up of platinum and nickel, bismuth and antimony, pneumatic cell, then triglycerin sulfate, lead sulfide, and so on. And the spectral regions in which they work properly is this 4000 to 400 centimeter inverse, and this same at the same IR range, then this is at same IR range, and this pyroelectric at the mild range. So these all cells have their maximum working capacity at the different IR regions. And then comes the sample and sampling techniques. As we already know, the sample can be in the solid form or liquid or gas, and if it is a solid, then we can use sample slurry with Nujol Mulls technique. Sample is crushed in agitate mortar and the pestle and mixed and ground together with Nujol to a thick paste. A spot is applied between the two NaCl plates and mounted in path of IR's beam of instrument, and a spectrum is recorded. So all these samples, they can be in solid form or liquid or gas. They have a different techniques how the paste is prepared so that IR spectrum can be recorded. Similarly, if we use a potassium bromide sample cell and sample is in the solid form, then it is can be used in by pressed pellet, that is sample pressed in dried sample film. The sample is dissolved in a solvent which is non-aqueous, non-reacting, non-IR absorbing in the range to be measured A drop of this solution is placed on the NaCl plate and the solvent evaporated to dryness. So they are the simple different samples and sample techniques by which we can record the IR spectrum. And so the very important is any molecule will give vibrational molecular vibrations, but how many the molecule can give molecular vibrations, it depends upon the molecular geometry, that is whether the molecule is linear or it is non-linear. And in that case, if the molecule is linear molecule, then we have formula 3n minus 5, and for a non-linear molecules we have 3n minus 6 degrees of freedom. This we will see with particular examples where we can calculate the number of fundamental absorption bands. The molecular vibrations consist of stretching and bending modes, as we have already done, and then a molecule consisting of n number of atoms has a total number of 3n degrees of freedom. So in this we already know. So in a non-linear molecule, 3 of these degrees of freedom are rotational and 3 are translational. So remainder is the fundamental vibrations. So in the non-linear molecule we have 3n minus 6, but in a linear molecule, in a linear molecule there are 3 transitional degrees of freedom and 2 are rotational. Only 2 are rotational. So for linear molecules the formula is 3n minus 5. So mathematically the normal modes for a linear and non-linear can be expressed as these. So this is the important for the calculation of number of fundamental vibration absorption bands for any molecule, whether it is linear molecule or whether it is a non-linear molecule. So let's take up an example. In this example we can see it is an example of water. Water has a bent structure, as we already know. This is a water molecule. In this diagram you can easily see that the both hydrogens may be symmetrically moving away or close to the oxygen. That is, it is a symmetrical stretch, the central one, and in the first one it is anti-symmetrical or asymmetrical, because one atom is moving close then other is away from it, or vice versa. So this is a asymmetric stretch or anti-symmetrical stretch. And third is scissoring bend. Scissoring is, that is, both of the hydrogens are moving towards each other like a scissor. So it is scissoring bend. So this molecule is a non-linear molecule due to uneven distribution of electron density. This we already know. Oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen and it carries a negative charge. So total degree of freedom for water will be 3n minus 6. For non-linear molecule we have formula 3n minus 6. So 3 atoms are there. So 3 and 9 minus 6, that is 3. So it will have 3 degrees of freedom, which corresponds to stretching and bending vibrations. So it has 2 stretching vibrations and 1 bending vibrations, and these are shown. So water has 3 degrees of freedom. In this, one is antisymmetric, second is symmetric, and third is scissoring band. Easily explain these 3 of the vibrational modes of water. Similarly, we can take another example in which the molecule is linear, that is carbon dioxide. In carbon dioxide it is a linear molecule, so we have a formula 3n minus 5. According to this formula, 3n minus 5, it has now 4 atoms. So it has 3 atoms again. So it is 9 minus 5, that is it will have 4 vibration modes. It will have 4 modes of vibration, and it has 2 stretching modes, symmetric and antisymmetric. And the symmetric mode is not IR active because in symmetric no net dipole moment is present. This we have also discussed earlier also. And in the asymmetric stretch, oxygen atom moves away from the carbon. This we can show here in this diagram. In this, both the oxygens are moving towards carbon or away from oxygen carbon, so it is symmetric stretch. In this, net dipole moment will be 0, so it is IR inactive. This is IR inactive. This is IR inactive. And in this, it is a antisymmetric. The oxygen, if this oxygen moves closer to carbon, then this will move away from carbon, or vice versa, and that is antisymmetric or asymmetric stretch. And this is a active, IR active. And these are the bending vibrations. These vibrations are bending vibrations, but in this again, these two have the same energy. These have the same energy, therefore they are called degenerate. Degenerate, same energy, and they will have one band. They will not show different bands, they will have one band. So in the asymmetric stretch, oxygen atom moves away from the carbon and generates a net change in dipole moments, and hence absorbs IR radiation at 2350. That is the asymmetric, that is second will show spectrum at 2350 centimeter inverse, due to this is active and this is active, and it has net dipole moment. And the other IR absorptions occur at 666 centimeter inverse, and the carbon dioxide has a total of 4 of stretching and bending modes, but only 2 are seen, and 2 of its bands are degenerate and 1 of the vibration mode is symmetric. Hence it does not cause a dipole moment change because the polar directions cancel each other. So vibration modes are this is inactive, this is active, and these are the degenerate. This will have one band only. So the vibrations of carbon dioxide are expected to be 4 modes according to the formula, but out of these, one is inactive, that is symmetrical is inactive, and second antisymmetrical is active, and the other 2 bending modes are degenerate, have same energy, they are degenerate, they have same energy, and they will show one band. So these are the 2 examples, one of bent structure or non-linear molecule, and second is the now you can again see the vibrations of carbon dioxide. These are the stretching both, and these are the bending vibrations, you can easily see, and these bending vibrations are degenerate. And similarly in water, these are the vibrations. So these were the 2 examples of linear and non-linear molecule showing the stretching and vibration bending modes. So this is all about the main IR regions, and then the number of fundamental vibrations for a linear and non-linear molecule. Then further we will continue in the next lecture.